In the foreseeable future, Earth is gradually deteriorating due to the extensive damage inflicted by humanity, leading to widespread desperation among people to find an escape. One day, a colossal black sphere mysteriously materializes near Mars. In response, 6 astronauts are dispatched to investigate aboard a spaceship named Achilles. For 8 months, the crew remains in hibernation as they journey through space. Carla frequently dreams about her daughter and her mother, who tragically lost her life in a car accident 2 years prior. With only 8 hours remaining before they reach the sphere, the crew is awakened from hibernation. As they take a moment to stretch and clear their minds, Carla observes that Ruben appears particularly unsettled, as this is his first experience with hibernation. She advises him to take some rest. However, Ruben prefers to document his experience through blogging, given his large number of followers. Later, Carla meets with Commander Paul, and together they attempt to gather more information about the sphere by scanning it. Unfortunately, the ship's AI is unable to detect anything unusual. Carla suggests that they should turn back, but Paul insists on completing their mission regardless. The absence of meaningful data makes Ruben even more anxious than before. The crew decides to reach out to Vance, the head of the expedition program, who informs them that people on Earth are eagerly awaiting answers to the mystery. They cannot let them down, so the mission must proceed. Sometime later, Carla begins to hear her mother's voice echoing through the corridors, although she doesn't see anyone nearby. At the same moment, Ruben is abruptly awakened by eerie whispers in his cabin. When Carla returns to her room, Vance initiates a video call, expressing concern over her apparent tension. As Carla reassures him that she is fine, the call suddenly disconnects, and the ship's AI announces that the sphere is generating an anomaly. Carla rushes to the main deck and discovers the enigmatic sphere emitting a bright beam of light towards the ship, causing various system malfunctions. The rest of the crew also heads to the deck, where Tez points out that the light seems to be guiding the ship's trajectory. As the ship continues to approach, the AI detects a noise emanating from the sphere. Upon analyzing it, Carla and the team decode a message that repeatedly states Deus, which translates to God in Latin. Ruben panics and urges the crew to turn back before he loses control. Carla believes they should pause their journey and wait until the AI can restore communications to inform Vance in case the sphere is a hostile alien presence. However, Paul decides they will continue with their mission. Afterwards, the crew checks on Ruben and finds him visibly distressed, crying in the corridor. Ruben remains in a state of panic, claiming that the light is Judgment Day sent by God, a belief reinforced by the voices he hears. He requests that the mission be cancelled once more before departing. The crew deliberates their theories, and Ulf suggests that it's their duty to uncover the true nature of the sphere. If it turns out to be an alien threat, they can simply destroy it. Paul monitors the situation through the ship's cameras and calls Ulf to the deck, instructing him not to consider destroying the sphere under any circumstances. As the ship nears the sphere, both Carla and Ruben begin hearing the voices again. Ulf escorts Carla to her room, where she confides that she has been experiencing headaches since the car crash, but does not mention the voices. Their conversation is interrupted by Tez, who informs them that Ruben is missing. Disregarding Ulf's concerns about Ruben's well-being, Carla joins the search. The team splits up, and Tez heads to inspect the cargo bay. Hidden behind some containers, Ruben is enveloped by lights as he performs a ritual to appease the voices in his head. His skin is being etched with various religious symbols. When Tez finally locates him, she screams in horror. Carla and Ulf rush to her side, but by the time Carla arrives, it's too late. Tez lies dead on the floor with her entrails exposed. Ruben notices Carla observing him and takes her hostage, threatening to kill her as well when Ulf arrives. Desperate, Ruben declares that they are beyond redemption, and that if they land on the sphere, they will become part of God's slaughter. He also accuses Paul of concealing something and suggests that they should seize control of the ship from him. At that moment, Paul appears behind Ruben and shoots him without hesitation, instantly killing him. He then instructs Ulf to retrieve 2 body bags, showing no emotion over the loss of 2 crew members. Enjoying the story so far? Subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support powers our adventures. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive back into the adventure. After grabbing Ruben's knife, Carla follows Paul into the elevator and confronts him, questioning if he truly knows something. Paul denies any wrongdoing and becomes angry as he senses Carla wants to abandon the mission. He reminds her that orders are orders. When they arrive at her room, Carla snaps and accuses Paul of being cold-hearted about their teammates' deaths. Paul simply walks away. Instead of using body bags, Ulf decides to place the bodies in their corresponding hibernation chambers. With only 3 hours remaining before reaching the sphere, the crew detaches the main Achilles frame and remains in a smaller vessel to navigate through the sphere more easily. Carla notices a structure on the sphere, but can't determine its purpose. When the ship finally lands on the sphere, communications resume, and the crew receives a call from Vance. Vance informs them that 10,000 unidentified structures similar to the one Carla observed have appeared on Earth, but they don't appear to be invading. He is convinced that the sphere is behind this phenomenon and urges the crew to solve the mystery as quickly as possible. Paul orders Ulf and Carla to investigate, but Sean points out that they'll need a scientist and additional volunteers to accompany them. The trio suits up and departs the ship while Paul monitors them through the cameras. The sphere is completely dark, making it impossible to see into the distance, and Carla's scanner fails to detect anything unusual. When she touches the ground, she remarks that the material isn't recognized on Earth. Paul instructs them to examine the structure, and upon closer inspection, they realize it's a gate. Suddenly, a bright light begins to emanate from inside the gate, prompting Ulf to fire a flare to get a better view of the surrounding structure. They observe a symbol known as the event horizon, which represents a boundary beyond which events cannot influence an observer. Carla refers to it as the end of existence and scans the gate, confirming it's made from the same mysterious material as the sphere. At that moment, the crew hears an unusual noise, which shouldn't be possible in a vacuum. Paul informs them that the ship's AI has intercepted a transmission and is sending it through their communicators. The transmission simply says, "Welcome." As the light intensifies, a woman appears in the center of the gate. The woman begins sending out messages telepathically, and the AI translates them for the crew. She reveals that she speaks on behalf of the creator of all existence. This creator has arrived as a warning and to offer humanity a choice. Those who enter the gate will find eternal peace, and Carla has been chosen to guide them. Inside the gate, they will discover the end of all suffering and pain, but those who choose not to enter will perish when the sphere reaches Earth to destroy it. Suddenly, the woman transforms into Carla's mother and tells her that someone is waiting for her inside the gate. A shocked Carla steps into the light and experiences a flashback of the car crash before finding herself near a golden city, with the accident wound still fresh on her head. Her daughter is present, and Carla runs toward her, but before they can reunite, Carla wakes up on a table aboard the ship. After experiencing a seizure, Carla vomits and wonders how she ended up there. Ulf explains that she could barely stand when she exited the gate, so he brought her back to the ship. Unfortunately, Sean didn't survive. Their conversation is interrupted by a call from Vance, who wants to know all the details. Carla informs him about the Golden City and compares it to Jerusalem, causing Ulf to refer to it as heaven. She doesn't mention her family, even when Vance persistently asks questions, not believing her when she claims she saw nothing else. Once the call ends, an irritated Paul leaves the room, and Carla confronts him about Sean's death. Ulf explains that Sean's suit ruptured, but Carla doesn't believe it since their suits are made from a material that shouldn't break. She suspects foul play, but Ulf claims Sean didn't secure his glove correctly, leading to decompression. Carla remains unconvinced, arguing that Sean was a very experienced explorer. A suspicious Ulf reminds her that everyone makes mistakes and tells her to rest. Carla wants to explore the sphere again. However, Ulf informs her that the ship is already leaving and follows her out. Upon reaching a corridor without cameras, Ulf asks Carla what she truly saw inside the gate. She confesses that she saw her family and explains that she doesn't trust Vance and Paul because it seems they're hiding something. Moments later, Ulf returns to the deck and Paul confronts him, demanding to know what happened when he and Carla were out of the camera's view. Ulf claims Carla said nothing new. Paul grows suspicious and reminds Ulf to follow his orders. Once the ship exits the sphere's orbit, the AI announces that the crew should prepare to enter hibernation in 1 hour. After retrieving Ruben's knife, Carla proceeds to the pods and checks Sean's body, particularly his suit. Next, she breaks the lock to Paul's room with the knife and enters to search for clues. Paul notices her on the security cameras and sends Ulf after her. In Paul's room, Carla discovers a gun and some highly intriguing files. Soon, Ulf appears outside the room and Carla stops him by pointing the gun at him. Having read the files, she now knows he's a former elite corps soldier, once renowned for being the best. However, Ulf explains that those days are behind him and insists he knows nothing about the sphere. Carla forces Ulf to return to the main deck, where she points the gun at Paul instead. He accuses her of mutiny and warns that the punishment for such actions is death. Carla retaliates by revealing that Sean was killed by a gunshot, suspecting Ulf since he used to be a hitman. The tense moment is interrupted by a call from Vance, who insists he isn't her enemy and claims all his scientists believe she truly saw heaven. He also plays a video showing people on Earth gathering in the streets, desperate to leave the planet after seeing footage of the sphere that Vance broadcasted. Carla is left in shock, and Paul seizes the opportunity to confront her. After some struggle, Carla manages to push him off and shoots him in the chest, killing him. She then notices she has been injured during the fight and her stomach is bleeding. After Vance hangs up, Carla points the gun at Ulf, who admits he killed Sean. However, he doesn't want to kill her because he also wants to uncover the truth about the sphere and what she saw. Deciding to trust him, Carla allows Ulf to take her to the infirmary to bandage her wound. Once she's feeling better, Carla admits she wants to return to the sphere, but Vance has control over the AI. Ulf reveals that he has the code to override the AI, but they would need to jettison the heel since Achilles is too large to control manually. This would cause them to lose main propulsion, making their return trip to Earth take over 5 years. Carla is losing hope, yet Ulf has an alternate plan. Carla returns to the deck and calls Vance to declare she'll destroy the sphere if necessary, believing it's all a lie. Vance activates some classified files that reveal the element Carla found on the planet, exposing that he was the one who built the sphere. There is no God. He orchestrated everything to save 6 billion people and eliminate the remaining 15 billion because Earth is overpopulated. There's no divine presence in the gate, and the sphere can't actually destroy Earth. It was all a deception to incite panic and guide people toward the gates that appeared all over the planet. They believed they were entering heaven, but in reality they were walking toward their deaths. Carla doesn't understand how this made her hear her family, so Vance admits he implanted a chip in her head after the accident, which was also his doing. Everything has been part of his plan to train Carla for this mission. A crying Carla calls Vance a monster and shares a story her mother used to tell her about how everyone deserves a chance to survive. At that moment, Ulf contacts her, announcing he has gained access to the Achilles core. Vance realizes that the duo is planning to destroy the sphere and orders the AI to initiate the ship's auto-destruct sequence. Alarms begin to blare, and the AI announces that Achilles will explode in 3 minutes. Carla angrily shoots the hologram machine to end Vance's call before contacting Ulf, who provides her with the code to separate the main ship from the massive cargo structure. Ulf is still stuck in the elevator, which isn't moving quickly enough for him to return to the main ship in time. He tells Carla to leave without him, and at first she refuses. However, as self-destruction is triggered, Achilles begins to explode at multiple points simultaneously. Carla has no choice but to separate the ship and watches in horror as all the explosions destroy the main structure, believing her friend is dead. However, Ulf suddenly contacts her, revealing he managed to escape at the last second. Later, the duo celebrates their survival with a drink, and Ulf explains that since they lost half of Achilles, the detonation of the core must be done manually. Carla agrees and states they will do it together. However, when the ship lands on the sphere, Ulf closes the door behind him and tells Carla to return to Earth so she can inform everyone of the truth. Carla departs on the ship and shares a final goodbye with Ulf, who waits until the ship is far enough away to detonate the core and finally destroy the sphere. Carla is now traveling alone to Earth, and the AI informs her that the trip will take 7 years.